Hello everyone, how are you? Fernanda Gui here in Tango Radio. Today we're going to talk about habit and honesty. First, I searched about the word habit. Comes from the Latin consuetudo, which comes from consuencere, meaning to get used to something or to become familiar with it through repetitions. In other words, a habit is something we do regularly because we have repeated it so many times that it became part of our life without needing to think about it. On the other hand, the word honesty comes from the Latin honestas, which is related to honor, dignity, and integrity. To be honest means acting in a sincere and genuine way, showing that truth of what you think or feel without any doubt. This makes the connection between habit and honesty very interesting. Sometimes we do things out of habit, simple because that is how it has always been done, without questioning where that actions reflect our real values or our truth. Honesty instead invites us to review this habit and ask ourselves, is what I am doing really what I feel or believe, or am I doing it just out of inertia? In other words, honesty helps us distinguish between what we repeat automatically and what we do with real intention. When we are honest with ourselves, we can choose which habit to keep and which ones to change, so that our actions truly reflect who we are. When different cultures approach tango, they naturally adopt certain habits of the dance, like the embrace, the close contact, or the way of moving, but there an important reflection appears. Many times these actions are performed simply by repetition, by copying what others do, without stopping to think whether these gestures are honest or just automatic. Even in cultures where hugging and abrazos is something common, dancers might fall into the habit of hugging just because that is how it's done in tango, without asking if that embrace carries an authentic intention. The key question becomes, is this hug, this abrazo, sincere? Is an expression of connection, or it is just something to do because I'm used to do it? In the end, honesty in tango, as in any practice, means taking a moment to distinguish between what we do out of habit and what we do with full awareness and authenticity. It is not about abandoning habit, but giving them a genuine meaning. This way, the embrace in tango, el abrazo, stopped being a repetition or a repeat act and became an honest moment of connection between two people. Of course, we can go deeper into each part of this. First, the structure of the embrace it is not only a physical map of where hands and arms are placed. It is a structure passed down through generations of dancers and ancestral choreography connected to tango history. This structure, with the leader's hands on the back of the follower arms, creating the perfect cycle, or imperfect cycle sometimes, is like a shared language that every couple speak, but each one with their own voice. Then authenticity, el abrazo, the embrace, became real when the person giving it is fully present. It is not just about form, it is about the intention. A genuine embrace, abrazo, is felt because that person is truly there with you in that particular moment. It is truly there with you in that moment because it's present. Not thinking about the next step or trying to impress. This authenticity is built through trust. Two people choosing each other's and sharing that energy is what makes tango so unique. Finally, how habit became personal expression. The embrace is not just a tool for movement, it is a form of communication. In it, you give the other your rhythm, your pose, your silence, and you receive the same in return. A habitual embrace became unique when you decided to put your own feeling into it. When the embrace became your way of entering the other person's body, space, with respect, of course, and openness to create something unrepeatable in that dance. Each one is unique. And I love the deeper layers you wanted to add, which fits perfectly. As a conclusion, it reinforced the idea that there are as many ways to embrace as there are people. That's why we must first learn the habit so that later we can forget and bring ourselves into it. This is why you cannot teach just one way of embracing or teach others to embrace exactly like you. We need a neutral, comfortable base so that each person can then add their own expression and adapt it to the person sharing the other half of the circle. Because even if each dancer must be 100% whole in their own, the embrace is still only half of the final result. The embrace is built by two people, one who surrounds and one who receives. It is a perfect cycle created by two dancers who are not giving 50-50. They are each giving 100%. The embrace is also where the style of the dance is defined. If you took a still photography of a dancer's embrace, you could guess the style from the posture, the tradition, the habit, the established form. But without emotion, it is only repetition. That is why it is so important to understand how the arms work in the relation to the whole body. Why it matters not to abandon the idea that the arms are essential in this meeting, in this embrace. the embrace, el abrazo, is much more than a habit. It is the heart of the dialogue between two people. I hope that makes sense to you, and I'm waiting to receive your comments. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.